Peter McGuire, CEO, Exim Australia, now joining us to talk about crude oil prices, which actually have gained quite strongly. And Peter, when you look at the month of April, this is the fifth straight month of gains continuing for the crude oil prices, holding well above $100 a barrel, especially with the latest European Union news where Germany perhaps will take away or take off its opposition. How are you reading those reports?
Well, I think, Manisha, it's so intriguing. And what the first quarter was dynamic, and this month, being April, first month of the second quarter has been absolutely mind-blowing with all as far as volatility, what we've got as far as Germany's concerns, Austria, and what's going on with payment in rubles, gas prices, heating oil. I'm noticing up 25% on the NYMEX in the last matter of weeks. Oh, so it's just dynamic what we've seen, or the last matter of a week. So the hold on to your hat, nearly 104 for the US dollar index, and everything is just, yeah, gangbusters.
Well, it is. So I was going to go to currency later on, but since you mentioned 104 of a price, what's your sense? Because I remember last time I spoke, you said 103, 104. I'm not saying it, but it could come there, and it's there now. What is your next target?
Well, I don't think any, hand on heart, Manisha, I didn't truly think that we would take a 103 handle out going back a month ago. And here we are, 104. You've got to say possibly a 105. There will be an inflection point. I'm just concerned how aggressive the Fed's going to be, what numbers are going to be as far as growth forecasts. Everyone says that the US economy is ticking along very, very nicely. It's lumpy earnings. We've got some that have had a boon in COVID and others that have performed poorly. But I really think that there will be that inflection point as far as US dollar where it just gets too strong, and Powell's got to be conscious of that versus his trading partners and the uncompetitiveness as far as the dollar versus, and that's for, you know, any exporters, that really creates a sense of desperation for the Fed.
Clearly. You know, just coming back to the crude oil prices yet again, are you looking at higher numbers then? Because clearly dollar is going to be one event to watch out for, but do you see 100 or do you see 120? What way are you bending?
Well, the Brent's at halfway. I mean, it's nearly at 110. And I think that the issue quite simply is what's going on with the Ukraine situation. That hasn't been put to bed at all. And as it rolls into May, things seem to be ratcheting up, not ratcheting down. So that, again, further uncertainty. So, yeah, I'm probably putting hand on heart again and saying, yeah, 120 handles, it's got the capacity to be there. It's whipsawing. You know, as far as traders are concerned, Manisha, it's just absolutely phenomenal because you're getting those huge swings over a couple of days, and that's what traders want. So I wouldn't be surprised they bid it up further from here. Speculators just, you know, jump all over it, and yeah, producers would be rubbing their hands with glee.
Oh, yes, they are. And one disappointment, though, is for the gold bulls, clearly. So would you say that the safe haven choice clearly has become dollar instead of gold?
Well, the dollar's been dramatic, and we've seen that big sell-off. We saw gold down from 1980, 1985, I think was the high, and then all of a sudden it's $100 had washed out. I was only looking at the screen in the last hour, and it was at 1902, 1903. Now we're at a 1914, so it's really wild. And you've got a very, very bullish US dollar index, as we've seen. So, yeah, I won't be surprised to see gold again go higher. I don't know what the number's going to be, but I wouldn't be surprised that there's been exhaustion, profit taking. Everyone wrote it down, and now it's on an upward trend, Manisha.
Clearly, that has been the case for gold for the very long time. It goes up gradually and then comes down by $100 in a matter of a week is what we've seen onto that one. Peter, thank you so much for joining us. Well, that's the way of coming in, that the dollar index could see some more gains. Crude is more bent towards 120 on the higher side, and gold prices could continue to be just about as volatile.